Welcome back to the Honeyville kitchen. Today we are going to be making what I call meals in a jar. It's a very convenient way to plan your food storage for either a very long-term 5 to 7 years or a busy Tuesday night where you just want to have everything together in one place for dinner. I keep it in my cupboard for my husband when I go somewhere and I just know he knows how to add water and boil something. We can make dinner. Fantastic. So, everything that you need we're making a baked ziti casserole today. The sausage and hamburger, the tomato sauce, the onions, the noodles, the sliced mushrooms, even down to the freeze-dried cheese. It's all in one spot. So let me demonstrate really quickly what you need to do. Whenever I go ahead and plan on doing my meals in a jar, I get all the ingredients in one spot. Then I know I'm not missing something. You're gonna get all of your cans opened and lined up. You're also going to need what we call an oxygen absorber packet. What these do is they chemically bond with oxygen, and when they're inside your jar, it makes it a vacuum where there cannot be any bacteria growing. It makes these meals shelf stable, and that's what you're going to want to do. Also make sure it's a dry day, especially if you're repacking the meat, so that you don't have any problems with anything growing in your jars. So, very simple recipe for the baked ziti. Are we ready? Let's do it. You're going to need to grab your 1/3 cup measurer. You're going to measure 1/3 cup of sausage, 2/3 cup of freeze-dried ground beef, 2/3 cup of dehydrated tomato powder. First time I tried this, I was so shocked because it actually made tomato sauce. It was fantastic. So, the next thing we're also going to add is a teaspoon of romantic Italian seasoning. This is my own blend, and I truly love it because it is one grab and it's very easy to do. So we're essentially making the sauce that's going at the bottom of our jar. We're also going to add 1/3 cup of freeze-dried onions, which just give it a nice, deep, great flavor for a sauce. Go ahead and give that a little shake. Get all that powder down into the meat so there's room for everything else. Then you're going to add 1 cup of noodles. 3 ounces is the weight, because a lot of noodles are different sizes and shapes, so this is how I do it though. A cup of macaroni noodles or a cup of ziti, just about right for this recipe. Then 1/3 cup, again, we're sticking with 1/3 cup of dried sliced mushrooms. These are freeze-dried sliced mushrooms. Maybe just a little bit more, just for fun. Now, we have room right on top for our mozzarella cheese. Now, when I cook this, all the sauce and everything together, when it cooks on the stove, doesn't have the cheese inside of in the casserole. So what I do is I keep it separate in just a little baggie right on top. So I'll just kind of fit that right into the jar, and I'll measure my cheese, 2/3 cup of cheese. And then when I go ahead to prepare my meal, I'll hydrate the cheese separate and get it ready to be nice and cheesy and gooey on top, because really freeze-dried cheese is cheese. It's just had its moisture removed. Amazing stuff. Okay, so we're gonna make sure we put an oxygen absorber at the top of the jar. When you put this in, also make sure it's tucked in deep enough that it doesn't overlap on your rim. Tighten it. What will happen is within about an hour, that oxygen absorber will eat all the oxygen in the jar, giving you a vacuum where no bacteria can grow, and it can be shelf stable 5 to 7 years. Okay, I'm gonna slide it right over to the stove. Medium-high for 15 to 20 minutes. And while it's simmering, I go ahead and hydrate my freeze-dried cheese that was in a little baggie at the top of the jar. Dump that into a little bowl. And I just like to lightly mist it with a little bit of water. Let that sit, and it will just absorb and be ready to melt on top of your casserole when it's cooked. So, it's great for any Tuesday night or any long-term storage where you want to make sure your family is prepared. Let's see what it looks like when it's actually cooked though, because that's the fun part. This is something we actually serve at our house all the time. The cheese gets gooey, it's fabulous. You can serve it with a side of salad or some breadsticks, anything wonderful. But really, who doesn't love pasta on a Tuesday night? There you go, make meals in a jar. They're very fun. If you're interested in finding out more about any of the products you've seen featured here in the Honeyville kitchen, go ahead and click on the link above or visit us at honeyvillegrain.com.